Salma is a core female commander whose awakening provides an initial commander active wave attack before the battle starts against the enemy, while also providing the stats of total health 40.6, 90% cavalry attack, and 90% spearman attack. Salma's awakening skill All-Out Charge will launch an initial all-commander active attacks at 1 second in the battle. However, commanding troops will have a 30% chance to miss their attacks for 5 seconds. Having an initial commander wave attack, eliminating a large amount of troops prior to either armies coming into battle, sways a large advantage for your lineup. We'll use this in an example of 2 solo lines, one being female cavalry, and the other being cavalry weakness. Your lineup, full cavalry female, will all launch a commander wave attack. Give or take for this example both 1 million troop armies. Our cavalry army will deal about 100,000 damage to the enemies. Combine this with Layla, and each commander will have a 30% chance to launch their active. Again, let's say by all odds, 2 more commanders launch their active. And now we have dealt 140,000 damage to the enemies, giving us a troop advantage of 16.2%. Creating troop advantages is crucial for these situations, where the less enemy are to meet you, the less damage you'll take, and the more you'll end up dealing. While we are on the topic, we'll also explore Salma's counter before we delve into her skill's second part. Hector, once enemy commander attack is received, heals these lines for a portion of the damage. This is almost always combined with Jamie, whose weakness attacks cannot be disarmed, while running Salma and higher level female lines. Disarm adds even more damage via reducing the amount of damage your troops take. It is highly crucial that while using female setups, especially Salma, that you are aware of your opponent, and for the cases when Hector is combined with Baelish, not only being a hard counter to your army, but a straight setback to your potential. Moving back to Salma's skill, the second part will cause your allied lines to miss their attacks 30% of the time for 5 seconds. If we're to put this into a simple, your allied lines will miss 8 to 9 out of the all 25 during this time. This isn't too severe. However, the damage reduction your lines will face should be noted. Another part to this skill, which is related to the initial commander wave attack, which there is only an 80% proc rate. Yes, this is significant, especially since, in theory, 1 out of your 5 commanders won't launch a commander attack. However, in practice, each commander has the 80% chance, which is greater in effect. Although it should be mentioned, one of your main damage commanders for these lines such as Arya or Annie may suffer on occasion, especially since they are more heavily benefit off Layla's multi-proc. Now, let us talk about lineups. We already hinted at the combo with Layla, both being the core of the female build. Now, selecting the other female commanders mainly will be around synergy with each other where possible. Please remember disarm is a heavily premium mechanic, so we will mainly talk about free and cheaper alternatives. Arya is a solid pick, boosting her damage before she launches her active. Along with this, her weapon is now very accessible with the Weapon Depot event, though still costing some money recharge. Uma allows some disarm synergy with Arya, however will require her weapon at base. Uma does not yet have her weapon launched, but comparing to Winton, we can have a general idea of its possible strength. Now we'll move to Annie, who will deal damage equal to 3%, or in short, counter bonuses won't apply, which also means, regardless of hitting spears, cavalry, or infantry, her damage will be consistent. A great, reliable, and more importantly, flexible commander. Perhaps we can also use commanders such as Lena for good cavalry stats. Lots for if you're using female infantry lines, or even right 3-star for her great infantry. In cavalry attack stats, however, do be warned, she will proc her active every 12 seconds instead of 10. Now, the best cheapest disarm commander, Marjorie, an absolutely great commander, especially if you're to invest into her weapon. Unfortunately, her weapon will be expensive to obtain for now. However, her disarm effect should be noted. We will have full video for her soon. But in short, if you're not willing to spend for Dany, Marg is an option, but do be prepared to spend for her weapon. around 4K per weapon guaranteed. She has a very high potential disarm, but very situational. Do remember, Salma is a utility commander, core for the female synergy, which can work with all unit types. Despite having cavalry and spearmen attack, she can work with infantry female lines and bowman lineups. Next will be Salma's weapon review.